Welcome back, guys, and boy, do I have a treat in store for you today. Have you ever done something you may or may not regret after you've done it? Well, that's me today. A local dealership that we've done business with in the past contacted me to see if I was interested in detailing this truck that he just took in on trade, and instead I ended up buying it. As you probably saw in the thumbnail, I picked this 2005 Nissan Titan Up, and it is absolutely one of the worst that we've had through the shop. If you had smell-o-vision, you'd be running for the hills. The smell of this interior, it will make you gag. So of course, when I picked it up, I brought my respirator because it was absolutely disgusting. Like almost instant gag. I don't know how in the world the owner of this truck could even stand it, but not only is there the smell, but there was curdled milk, moldy food, ants, maggots, stains, stickers, body odor, dirt, etc. And you name it, this truck has it. The one saving grace here is that this truck has not been smoked in. I'm gonna break this video up into 2 or 3 parts, interior, exterior, and maybe mechanical. My plan is to sell it for a profit when I'm finished. Stay tuned to this series and see how it goes. When I first started detailing in the mid-90s, this actually was along the lines of what I did back then, except instead of buying it to resell later, I would take the nasty vehicles, or not even necessarily nasty, that my friends, neighbors, etc. were wanting to sell, make them look as perfect as they could be, and then sell them for added value so they could, make a little bit more money on them. And then of course, taking a commission for the sale. It's still a great way to make some extra income, but in this post-C-word world, with vehicle values gone crazy, it is much harder to do that and make it worth your time. So first, a little about this vehicle. I paid $1,500 for it from my local dealer that I do business with. Had a quick look at it when it was raining, so I could tell that there was obviously some body damage, but I couldn't tell how bad the clear coat was. I could assume that it was probably faded and failing, as this era of Nissan Renault products, it had an absolutely terrible clear coat and it was prone to failure, especially on the top surfaces, the hood, the roof, etc. So the body has 242,000 miles, engine and transmission have 120,000 miles, and the entire front end suspension has been recently replaced. So ball joint, shock, steering rack, tie rods, etc. Has a Flowmaster exhaust and an aftermarket intake, along with a touchscreen center stereo and backup camera, and all of it works. I'm setting a budget of $1,500 for parts and reconditioning, with my labor being free for the purposes of resale, but of course I'm going to keep track of how much time this takes along the way, because if you're doing it as a profession, you definitely are going to want to factor in your time, shop rate, $100 an hour, something like that. I'm working usually on the weekends and an hour here or there in the evenings after we're done in the shop for the day. The first thing we're going to do is address the interior and the insanely powerful smell, done by, of course, removing the entire interior, pressure washing absolutely everything that won't be damaged with water, and this includes the seats. However, I don't advise in a normal situation pressure washing the seats, because if you dry them too slowly, mildew and mold can develop. Fortunately, I live in Texas and it's still summertime, so it really just took leaving them out in the sun for a full day, followed by leaving them in my climate-controlled shop for a few days with fans directly on them, and then of course using my steam extractor to further clean them. So step 1 is of course removing everything. So that's what we're going to do now. Any of the products I'm using, you'll see in the lower left corner, and of course I'll leave a link in the description where you can purchase those. I did find about $5.50 worth of change, so get to subtract that from our final bill. Yummy. My wife made me do this interior all in an evening because the smell, it was stinking up the shop. You can see behind me there on the lift, there's no car on that lift, but there will be one coming in the morning. So I had to get it done and out so it wasn't stinking up the whole shop. It was absolutely terrible. Carpet is quite crusty, so I'm hoping through lots of pressure washing, lots of chemical use, that it will soften things up and we can actually use this carpet. Lots of cola or something, coffee maybe. Terrible. If you are pressure washing something like this, make sure you pressure wash the backside too, because there's a lot of times there's insulation and that will hold smell and cola, whatever is in it. You can see it just continuing to come out of the carpet here. So now I'm going to use my Mighty 8070. You can really use anything at this point, but this just makes it easier. Using IGL Multi, a brush, and then using the Mighty extractor to just suck it up basically. And there's the final product. A lot of times the source of the smell can be in that insulation there too. So make sure it is thoroughly cleaned. Even after pressure washing, I'm still picking up more using the hot water extractor. That's just incredible how filthy it was, but again, no surprise. I did go to my local junkyard and I picked up some extra door seals. They were relatively inexpensive, about $10. Use the Analon triangle hairbrush removal tool for anything else that didn't come out before. Continuing to put everything back together here. Using Shine Supply Clean and Shine on the plastics, so it's like a matte finish, not crazy shiny. Onto the headliner, use a very dilute IGL Multi. Don't use any steam cleaner on headliners. So the seats, I've actually pressure washed them and I didn't film it. Even going after pressure washing using the hot water extractor, there was still more to get out. So as we start to put everything back together, you can see a few of those red stains wouldn't completely come out. They appear to be from Nerds candy, something like that. So there's like a dye in it. And as we put it back together, I did put some cheap seat covers, and OEM Titan floor mats. Not to forget the cabin air filter. It really wasn't that bad. So on to the doors and the door panels. This is another source of the smell. And I thought it wasn't that bad until I pulled the door panels off, and here we are again stinking up the shop. And I don't know if that's milk or what it is on it, but it absolutely stunk. And as soon as I pulled them off of the door panels, behind them, there's that gagging smell came back again. And I mean, it's awful. And you can see it's in the insulation that's on the back of the door as well. So we will take those outside and pressure wash them here shortly. For the interior, because there's electronics and things like that in the door, we're going to be careful. We're going to use our McCullough steamer using IGL Multi 100%. Really, at this point, the speakers could have been replaced because the dust cover's missing on it too, but they still work. Moving outside, you can see how disgusting these are. Using a diluted Shine Supply plastic cleaner, if you use it too strong, it can react with the plastics and turn them white or discolor them, so you have to be careful. Do not use something like IGL Multi on these either. And so there's our final product. I believe I need to adjust the seatbelt. It's twisted there, yep. And the other side, what a difference. So on the fronts, there wasn't anything behind the front door panels for food or anything like that, so I didn't feel the need to take the front door panels off. Center console had this kind of gator looking piece that had been, of course it's not original. Bought a $20 piece off of eBay to recover it myself using some 3M headliner and fabric adhesive and some small screws. There's the final product. Not perfect, but again, $20. Much better than what was on there. And at my local junkyard, I picked up there's the original steering wheel. I picked up a steering wheel for $6, and it had different controls. So unfortunately the connector was different, and so I had to swap over the existing controls, which were missing paint and things like that. So I didn't really want to have to do that, but that's what I ended up doing. And so there we go. We have our cheap Caterpillar seat covers. And our new OEM floor mats really make a difference. And our center console lid and new steering wheel. The center dash piece was also replaced. And what I also did, not filmed, was I used the ozone machine. I have an ozone generator that I put in for about 2 hours just to make sure it absorbed any final other smells. But the smell is completely gone here. Don't have it at all. Smells like a normal vehicle should now. So if I was keeping this for a personal vehicle, I may go to the expense of recovering the seats. But even then, the cheap little seat covers, that will suffice for now. There's the replacement center bezel, and that lid has a piece of foam in between it, so it's very comfortable to rest your arm on. The seat covers, they work, nothing special. I don't foresee them lasting a crazy amount of time as they're fairly lightweight, but they did have good reviews. That's why I bought them. So what do you think, guys? Big turnaround. I really wish you could smell the difference, but you can obviously see the difference. So next up, we're going to get into the exterior. I'm going to do that in a separate video. So if you like these kind of videos, let me know in the comments if you want to see more of them, because the dealer that I got this from, he has plenty more like this. And if there's room for me to do it, you guys like watching them, I can definitely do more of them. He gets trades like this in, I wouldn't say all the time, but he does get trades in like this where we can sell it, make a little money, and we can use it for the channel. Where I really got lucky with this truck is mechanically, it needs absolutely nothing. It doesn't burn anything, doesn't leak anything, etc. So my channel did buy this. My channel's selling it, and we will use the profit from the sale of this to purchase more products to test or more vehicles. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned. And again, let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you down in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon.